A hip hop, hippie, hip hop. You don't stop rocking to the bang dang. Boogie said, jump up, Boogie said, the rhythm, boogie to be. Oh, I can't talk today. Why? Because it's giant time in the morning on a Friday, 12:01 noon. Hey, it's the morning zoo here. It's 12:01 noon. And right now we got traffic on 95 backing everything up. But it's going to be a sunny day out of brisk 75 degrees. So make sure you go outside. And now here's Cashmere. Told you I always want to be a morning zoo guy. Because you have to be. You want to be a Giant fan? You want to be a guy that follows this team? You got to have some sense of humor. Because I watch all these other teams. I watch everyone make all these moves. I watch all these things going on. And then I see the Giants. We get the backup tight end from the Eagles who had 20 receptions in 3 years, and it's the greatest move of all time. And I love it because one beat writer had it. We stole the Eagles tight end. You stole their third string tight end who has 20 receptions in 3 years for 183 yards. If that's stealing, please give it back. But seriously, folks, we have people talking. We have people talking that at this point in time that we are trying to have someone like Drew Lock come in. I know, come in and be the starting quarterback for the New York Football Giants. There's a report. There's a speculation that the GM for the Chargers came out and said that Drew Lock was basically promised that he's going to get an opportunity to start for the job for the Giants. And then I love it because then a couple hours later, Paul Schwartz, the greatest non-Giant beat writer who's basically just for a shill for the Giants, comes out and said, this is all fabricated. It's all false. And I don't know what this guy's even talking about. But he doesn't give any information. He doesn't give any innuendos. He doesn't give any, Paul Schwartz said this, he doesn't give any fodder out there for us to look at. No. He just says, it's not true. Okay. So you guaranteed $5 million a year to a 27-year-old quarterback because of the fact that you just thought you just give him $5 million guaranteed when you don't really have a plethora of cap space. But you didn't, and the quarterback market already dried up. So you needed to entice somebody, but everything that the guy said from Seattle is a lie. We're such a fucking train wreck. All aboard the giant train wreck on track number 3. And then there's the whole Justin Fields crap. Now everyone is like, we need to go get Justin Fields. Let's go get Justin. He's going to be the guy. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, everyone hated him and no one liked him and no one wanted him on this team. And now they're like, and now there's certain people, and I'm not going to say who they are in reference to giant content creators because they're all morons, sitting there going, well, the market's just dried up for Justin because nobody wants him because he's not that good. That's the people in the other camp. And then you got the people in the other camp now that are just going batshit crazy that we need to go get Justin. Can I give you guys a moment of clarity and explain to you why the Bears haven't traded Justin Fields yet? Now, I'm going to talk. It's got a lot of moving parts, but I'm going to explain this to certain groups of people, to both groups of people. Caleb Williams blew off his top 30 visit with the Bears. Told them it was too far for him to travel from California because he's got a pro day on the 20th of this month. He has refused to still release his medical records. He has yet to come in for a physical. He's yet to come in for an examination. He's yet to come into the Bears for a meeting. The Bears are not going to take their starting quarterback from the last 3 years and turn around and trade him when they have no clue what's going on with Caleb Williams and the first overall pick. You can't trade a guy until you have some idea or even actually meet, in person in your building with a guy that you are potentially going to make the first pick overall. It's called being smart. It's called Ryan Poles is not tipping his hand by saying, okay, what we're going to do is we are just going to get rid of Justin Fields. And we don't really know about Caleb yet because he blew off his top 30 visit with us. He has yet to take a physical, and we haven't had a meeting with him. So let's just trade our quarterback. It would almost be like going out and getting a defensive end when you don't have a quarterback, and your quarterback is coming off an ACL and 2 neck injuries in 3 years, and expect your season to go swimmingly. Hey-oh. I just don't. Sometimes I just don't get people. And I'm not trying to be rude about it, but it's like all of a sudden, all these people were bad. All these people were bashing Justin Fields. But now it's like, we need to go get him. The Bears aren't going to do anything yet. The Bears are smart. The Bears are sitting here saying, hey, listen, we're not going to make a trade. We're not going to do anything until we have some basic idea what the hell Caleb Williams is even doing. So why am I going to get rid of my starting quarterback after I just grabbed another wide receiver to go with DJ Moore? And I grabbed a running back. I'm building an offense, and I can easily run this same offense with, wait for it, my milkshake. My milkshake. All the boys in the yard think that it's better than yours. You better watch out, because I might have to charge.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
I don't get it, but I don't care. Like I've always said, I am not here on this planet to get it. Let's see what we got some here. Let's go. Blazin says, y'all better pray Shane and Dable. And evidently now there's a report that Shane and Dable are in love with JJ McCarthy. Oh, dear Lord. If we go for another reach at a quarterback at 6, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Bruce says, why can't the Giants have a nice thing? No, we're not allowed to have nice things because we're stupid with them. We don't play nicely with them. When I was a kid, I still have shit from when I was a kid. Why? Because when I was done playing with it, I put it back in the box. And the main reason was, back in when I was younger, we didn't have a lot of money. So when I got something, it was the greatest thing in the world. So I made sure I cherished it. I put it back in the box so I had it forever. Yeah, the Giants don't do that. MK5 says, winning the games against the Eagles really fucked us because I don't think the Cardinals will trade out of that, but the Chargers definitely will. I think the Cardinals are going to stay in their spot. Why wouldn't they? They grab another wide. They could get a wide receiver or an offensive lineman. Who is better? Drew, Jake Locker, or Lock? You know what the thing was about? Here's my thing about Drew Lock. Here's the thing that bugs me a little bit. Everyone talks about, well, he came in on that 76-yard drive. He came in and he beat the Giants on that drive. Took him down. Yeah, it was a busted play by the Giants. And he also had that big 11-yard run. He was 2 for 6. Justin Locke. A certain magic still lingers in the name in that game against the Giants. He didn't do anything that game. He was 2 for 6. The Giant defense is the one that basically gave this shit away. But here's the thing. Justin Locke gets drafted by Denver. Couldn't beat out Teddy Bridgewater. Couldn't beat out Geno Smith twice. But he's going to come here and not compete for the starting job, even though we gave him $5 million guaranteed, because Paul Schwartz says it's so.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Oh my God. Todd says, here's to compete that, and acknowledge that Jones' contract was a mistake. Yeah, it is. It was a huge mistake. Walla 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 says, hey, Tim, you're not excited about all the I love the moves. Let's talk about these moves. I like the way you move. Let's talk about these moves. John Runyon Jr., basically on average paying him $10 million a year, 6.8. 3-year starter with the Green Bay Packers, playoff team, and who also beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. Growing team with a young quarterback. You would think they would want to bring back a 3-year starter at $6.8 million a year. Talk to somebody in Green Bay. Talk to a couple people in Green Bay. Green Bay said he was the weakest link on the line for the last 3 years. He is not a guard that is going to be proficient in run blocking. He's good at pass blocking, has a tendency of tripping over his own feet, so you can't pull him in any regards. And they just were saying, and they said if his salary went anywhere near $10 million, they were letting him go. You grab the big guy from the Raiders. He's very excited to be here. Great. Your career has been kind of pedestrian, but okay, you're better than anyone that we have. Then you turn around, what you get, Mills, the corner, the 31-year-old corner, whose snap count has dropped from like 90 to 70 to 40. You got, what's his name, Isaiah McKenzie. Didn't he get suspended the other year for conduct detrimental to the team? Brought him in, but that's okay because we need another slot receiver. That's just we just need another slot guy because this team isn't full of slot guys. But that's okay. We're gonna bring him in as well because of the fact that he has that Zabel connection. Okay, so that's another one of these brilliant moves. We then turn around, of course, and we run out and re-sign. And then we got Stoll. We talk about Jack Stoll, the tight end, Philadelphia, 3 years he's been there. He's got 20 receptions for 183 yards in those 3 years. Another great pickup. Then we give $5 million to Drew Lock because of the fact that he is not going to compete for the starting position. And then we run out and grab Brian Burns and then turn around. I called him what did I call him? I called him Brian Banks the other day because I was watching the Brian Banks movie right before, the guy that got accused of rape and he lost a scholarship to USC and he went to jail. And I was actually watching the movie before I did the video. But we then go out and get a whole Brian Burns, who we then turn around and give $25 million a year, which the deal reeks 100% like
King of the almost sack.
We burn through some of our draft capital. Not only do we give up the second round pick, which is ours, we didn't give up the Seattle pick. We then turn around and swap picks with Carolina. So we go from 140 to 162. Then we also give up another fifth rounder for him. And I love it because, like I said, Pat Kerwin and a bunch of people on NFL Network were basically saying the last couple of days, good player, but the Giants gave $25 million a year to an 8-sack guy. Then I have someone on Twitter tell me, well, 8-sack guys aren't high commodity. Name me some guys that had more sacks. And I actually proceeded to put a list of 20 guys that had 10.5 sacks or more just last year, including Khalil Mack, who had 17.5 sacks at 497 years old. Then I actually had to point out that Khalil Mack, if you take his first 5 years in the league, comparing the first 5 years of Mr. Burns, you can see the difference because Khalil was averaging like 12.5 sacks and 70 tackles. Oh, and by the way, right now with the estimated cap space we have, and this is estimated cap space without the Stolls, the Mills, the McKenzies, the Locke, and the Carter Coughlin, the guy from the Raiders, and our long snapper. We're about $1 million with the rule of 51. Right now, without the rule of 51, we're about $4 million, and we still haven't accounted for the $11 million or the $10 million we're going to need for the draft capital. For the rookie draft pool. Of course, you're only going to need about $4.5 to $5 million of that immediately, but we're still going to need that money as well because those contracts are guaranteed once they're signed and then they're on the books. But you know what? It's been a stellar off season so far. Oh, and then we lost Xavier and McKinney and Saquon Barkley. And the money that we lost for Xavier McKinney and Saquon Barkley, we basically gave to Burns. And if we would have just not paid Burns, we could have kept both of those gentlemen. And we gave it the 24-year-old homegrown safety that went to Green Bay, played only 100 snaps, could play in the box, could play free safety, and got paid because of the fact that we underestimated his value on the marketplace. The same thing like we did last year with Saquon Barkley. Then we have idiots like Tiki Barber just sitting there bashing Saquon Barkley in reference to him not being, he's dead to him and all this crap. And this is a guy that retired in midseason with 2 years left on his contracts, and the next year the Giants go out and win a Super Bowl. And then I watch everything the Commanders are doing. I cry. Then I watch what the Vikings just did. Now I have 2 first rounders, which they're probably going to try to package to move up and grab a quarterback. I was talking to James Williams before I came on stream. And I said, my biggest fear is Giants go 0-17. And you know what? there's no quarterback at the top of the draft next year. And I'm not really seeing one. You can talk about Sanders' kid, but I'm still not 100% sold on him. Talk about the kid out of Texas, still not 100% sold on him. There's no clear defined person right now that you can say that is the number one first overall quarterback pick, not like this year. This year, you can literally still argue that Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams could go 1 or 2. And then you still have the likes of May and Penix and maybe McCarthy. And as a Giant fan, as a Giant season ticket holder and everything else, I'm supposed to sit there and I'm supposed to be sitting to myself, well, this has been such a great offseason because we got Brian Burns, who happens to have almost identical stats to Kayvon Thibodeau. But if you put him up against the other top 20 rushers in the league, he's a 5-year guy that averages about 8 sacks a year. And then people are like, well, he got 8 sacks on a bad team. Well, Kayvon got what, 11.5, 10.5 on a bad team last year? And neither of them can really play the run. And you have a guy in Shane Bowen who likes to use a 4-man front to generate his pass rush. Please go back and watch a Tennessee film because I loved it to this day when I kept telling people, no, he runs a lot of 4-man front. No, he runs a 3-4. Okay, I just watched the majority of all Tennessee games last year. And he likes to take his ends and drop them back into coverage, which neither Burns or Kayvon can do. But don't worry, we don't need a quarterback because we got Drew Lock. Hey-oh. Oh, my God, we're way behind. Skyline said, hey, everyone, let's Drew Lock puns begin. Drew Bledsoe is still the best Drew quarterback. I agree. What's Joseph say? Hit the like button, and there's no sarcasm.
In my profession.
Think you gonna get him.
Wait.
What?
Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm.
Okay, everyone knows sarcasm is number 24. That's the button. Okay. Let's see. If we stole Dallas Goedert, if we stole him, then I'd be happy too. I like stealing free shit. That's basically what we got. Oh my God. X is going off on Shane is a genius. I don't get it, Joe Rev. I really don't get it. I am sitting here looking at these moves going, what the fuck do people see that I don't? I am dumbfounded. I am perplexed. You got an offensive lineman that Green Bay didn't want. You got another offensive lineman. The only reason you got him because he's got a connection to your offensive line coach who's not that great. You went out and got a 31-year-old corner/safety whose snap count has dropped exponentially the last 3 years. You brought in another slot wide receiver, and you made a trade to give a burn through your draft capital to get a player who is identically, eerily similar to the guy you already have. Oh, and you still don't have a quarterback. Oh, you got Devin Singletary too. An 800-yard guy who's never really been a bell cow back. But don't worry, we're going to get A.J. Dillon. Oh, too soon. Where do you go, my lovely? Blazin says, I really don't see what this team's turning a corner, and we have no offensive playmakers. Oh, we got Isaiah McKenzie. We're all good. Doctor says, doctor, is there anything I can take? I said, doctor, to relieve his belly, you got to put the lime in the coconut and take it all up. Since this is Comedy Friday, have you seen our quarterback situation? Hey-oh. Paul Schwartz works for the Giants. He's on the app all the time. I loved his response. Well, it's not true. Okay, Paul. I'm going to get Paul Schwartz on the phone. Paul, can we get a little bit more information about what's not true about what the general manager of Seattle said? Because he probably talked to Drew Lock. Can we get some information on that? Hold on, I have to call the Giants. Yo, Joe, I got Tim on the phone. He wants to know what information I have. What should I tell him? Just really, Locke will start the season, and Tim will cry. Chris says, hey, Tim, what's up? Shaking. Let's see. MSH over the current free agency. Colonel from the Commanders just signed with the Rams for $6.5 million. We signed Mills. What? So Mr. Alvarez says the Vikings have 2 first-rounders. At this point, the Giants are going to miss out on one of the quarterbacks. I think they're going to miss out. I think we're going to get stuck with like some kind of J.J. McCarthy crap at 6. And if they take McCarthy at 6, I don't know what the hell I don't know what I'm going to do. Still don't want Fields. That's okay. You don't need to have a good quarterback. It's all good. Then field smoke is currently comedic. They will make him a running back. Todd says homers are already out of control. They are beyond out of control. Timothy says my son's name is Drew. Casey, only thing going for luck. Oh my God. James says hit the like button. Salute to the chat. Caleb Williams to Washington. I actually kind of think Caleb may end up in Washington. I keep thinking that the Bears pick is up for grabs. Salute to Big Tim. Hit the likes is blazing. Skyline says, I think we have fallen to the point where having a competition be dreamed Drew Lock for the starting job. At this point in time, if you sat there and you thought to yourself, we're going to have Drew Lock compete for the starting job for the New York Football Giants. A gentleman who couldn't beat out Teddy Bridgewater. A gentleman who couldn't beat out Geno Smith twice. He is going to compete for the starting position for the New York Football Giants. Stupid as stupid does, Mrs. Blue. What really was Burns a need? No, he wasn't a need. Yes, you needed a pass rusher. Yes, you really did. We've talked about this before. You needed if you are going to have someone like Kayvon Thibodeau start at your defensive end position, you needed a true defensive end, not a linebacker, quasi defensive end on the other side who understands how to generate a rush, maintain his assignment, and hold his edge while pushing the running back into the center of the field where your strength is in Dexter Lawrence. Seems like Caleb doesn't want to be in a Bear. I don't blame him altogether. What do we got here? I don't blame him if he doesn't want to be a Bear. How about the team? How about the teams the Bears are putting together? The Bears are another team they're putting shit together. I look at all these teams around the league, and like I said, my biggest concern, I know they had a shit ton of cap space, is Washington. Washington has got exponentially better. They find a quarterback. We are the fourth team in this league for the next couple of years. Because we've talked about this before. Everyone's like, well, don't worry, Tim. In 2025, we're going to have millions of dollars in salary cap space. Really? Because we had $100 million at one point in 2025. We're down now to like 60. I heard that last year that we were going to have millions of cap space in 2024. And I kept telling people, no, you're not. Stop. All these self-proclaimed capped experts that are on Twitter and YouTube now, ever since I've been doing it for 3 years, stop. You don't know shit. For the people that are like, well, if we release Daniel Jones post June 1st, we're only going to owe this amount of money in dead cap space because it's going to be pushed out over 2 years. I'm gonna break something down to you, dummies. Even if you keep him on the roster, that cap space is still going to be pushed out over 2 years. It doesn't just go away. Thank God it's Friday. Friday night, just got paid. Oh, my goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. I just love the idiocy of people. It doesn't take long to figure something out, guys. What does Max Custom Kick says? You know what's really cool? I made custom sneakers on Nike. I'm very excited about that. How is it smart sticking with Justin Fields when Caleb or Drake May would be better than him? How do you know? Max Custom Kicks, tell me, how do you know that's going to happen? Remember when Ryan Leaf was going to be better than Peyton Manning? Remember when Akiwi Smith was going to be awesome? Remember when Russell with the Raiders? Another can't miss prospect. You don't know. You don't. Remember when Daniel Jones at 6 was a steal? We could have Russell. And that's the other thing. We could have Russell Wilson wasn't coming here. If you were Russell Wilson and you were only going to take $1.5 million salary, $1.25 million, would you rather take that money and be with Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh? Or would you rather take that money and be on a bad team in New York? I'm going to Pittsburgh. What's up, Evan? The Bears aren't addressing the offensive line like they should. There's something also called the draft. We've talked about this before on this team. You built through the draft. You augment through free agency. So they'll be fine. They'll be fine. I mean, listen. A couple of years ago, Alex Leatherwood was their starting left tackle. They're getting there. They're getting there. Max, what are you talking about? Dude, there has been multitude. You know what, Max? You know what, Max?
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Max, you need a timeout. You want to come up in here and be stupid? This ain't the day. There's multiple reports from different things. Really? On Twitter? There's multiple reports that I'm fucking awesome. Caleb wants to go to Washington. I think he might want to go to Washington. People are now regretting those empty wins because now the Chargers need wide receiver help and they could take Neighbors. I saw that when they made that trade. I was like, they're going to take Neighbors, aren't they? It was like, this is going to be like Devontae Smith all over again. It wasn't that Devontae Smith. T-Bird has a question. I have a question. Is the line still going to be an excuse for Daniel Jones? No, not having Saquon Barkley is not going to be the excuse. The Chargers got rid of themselves some entire offense. Their defense definitely taking the best wide receiver. Yeah, they're definitely taking the best wide receiver. One hell of a thing. Green to Green says another quarterback expected to be a better pro than he was in college. I'm not sure who that was. The whole locker room is weak. It is kind of weak, but it's okay. I think the Giants' plan is to trade up for May. Plan B is to trade for Justin because there is no other explanation for the Giants publicly bashing Jones. I don't know if they really publicly bashed Jones. Did they really publicly bash him? I mean, honestly, have they? I don't think they really have. I want to thank all the people that are currently watching on the Twitter sphere and 100 and something people got in the chat. Don't forget to hit the like button or I'm going to start doing my radio voice. Blazin says, I don't think they will draft an offensive lineman. I don't. If they take Joe Alt again, I will. If the Giants take Joe Alt, I'll have an embolism. Because then once again, we talked about it before, you're going to take a left tackle in college, move him to right tackle, and then you're going to take the right tackle that was a left tackle in college and move him to right guard and pair him with an undersized center. What could possibly go wrong? Two teams gave up on Locke already. We need to stop. We are the Knicks. I was talking to James about this. We are the early 2000s, mid 2000s Knicks. Remember Michael Beasley? We're going to take all these reclamation projects. And thank you for the thumbs up on Twitter. We're going to take all these reclamation projects and we're going to make the former first round picks, former first overall picks. We're going to go get, Bagnani, whatever his name was, a guy from Toronto. We're going to make them all fit into our system. Yeah, it never works out. Aaron Donald just retired, did he? So I guess Brian Burns now is the greatest defensive end. Well, Aaron Donald was a tackle. Best way to compare our free agency to the most of the league is we purchase spam and the person's going to be Pimp name select back. Tim Xavier Kinney just said this morning that we need an elite quarterback to be able to even have a chance, and I believe he is an elite quarterback. He said that was a big factor in choosing Green Bay. I did see that. Do you remember? Yes, I do remember John Runyon Sr. Actually, LT took him to left tackle. Or are you saying LT took him to? No, that was Michael Strahan. That took that was the Strahan battles. Because you got to remember, Runyon was over in was he over in Tennessee first, or was that Houston? It wasn't Oilers? I don't remember, but that was the Strahan battles you're talking about. Green says Isaiah McKenzie. Why? Because we've been trying to get Isaiah McKenzie for 2 years now since fucking Dable got here, and now we got him. Revenge of the Slot Guys. Film at 11. Slayton is still our best overall wide receiver. Strahan to Runyon Jr. to school, sort of, they battled. It was funny because, when Philadelphia went out and got Runyon, it was for Strahan. Stoll might be the worst tight end in the league, but we got him. Yes, I missed King of the Almost Sack. James says, you guys can't think losing Saquon and Xavier for nothing made sense. It made 0 sense. You talked about the fact that you need to hit the like. Oh, no, sorry. You talked about the fact, if you're Joe Shane, that you weren't going to negotiate with Xavier McKinney during the season because you have to wait and see how it plays out. So you kind of knew you probably weren't bringing him back. You knew the money that Saquon wanted, but instead you kept him on the team and got nothing for him. You are going to get compensatory picks for these two guys, but you probably could have gotten more for both. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. But like I've said a million times before, we are not here on this earth to get it. What does Steve in New York says? Great battles, hell of an offensive line. When is DJ going to be gone? I hope soon, Steve. Look at that. I'm answering questions on Twitter. I'm so multitasking today. Let's see here. KT had more without having one for 6 weeks till the end. He did. We talked about that. We talked about the fact that if you go back and look, and I'm not bashing Burns, if you look at it compensation-wise for a good team that's like on the playoff cusp or a playoff team, what they gave up from Burns makes sense. If you're looking at a team that has an opportunity to make the playoffs or make a deep playoff push, giving Burns $141 million makes sense. But like everyone is basically saying, a majority of people are saying, good player, Giants overpaid for an 8-sack guy. Because you can't all of a sudden omit what he has been the entirety of his career. How many games did we go through that he had? Did he have either 0 or 1 solo tackle? I think it was 7 last year. He averages like 30-something tackles a year. Talked about it before. Khalil Mack in his prime was getting like 12, 13 sacks with 70 tackles. And majority were solo. So you brought 8 sacks for $150 million. Wow, the Giants have the worst front office in the league, bringing back Jerry Reese. Daryl says, do you think the reports that Locke was brought in to start because of the team's plans limited Daniel Jones playing time so they won't have to pay his guaranteed after next season? I really don't know what they're thinking. I really don't know what they're thinking. I mean, do you believe the GM for Seattle? Do you believe Paul Schwartz? Do you really bring in a guy at $5 million, even though it's guaranteed, to compete with your $160 million man? I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. Don't the Vikings have Sam Darnold? Man, he's a legend. Yeah, but here's the problem. The Vikings now have 2 first rounders. 2. Watch this. Hey, New England. Would you like to trade 3 for 2 first rounders, a second rounder, and a second rounder next year? Oh, look, Drake Mays with the Vikings. The Giants will RSVP to the basement of the division. Yes. I'm RSVPing. Yes. I can't believe Aaron Donald retired. That's kind of sucks. Maybe Burns and Kayvon will alternate weeks hibernating. Then you will end up with 1 cumulative season of consistent effort. You know what? That worries me. And I, Robbie, I know you're joking, but what if Kayvon and Burns have one of those games that they have at least 6-7 times a year where they get no pressures, they get no sacks, they get no tackles, they get, I don't know, let's just jokingly say they get manhandled by a quarterback. What if they have one of those games together? That's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Then I see all these big names being moved on from other teams, basically nothing compensation wise. And you're going to give up your second, which is in the high 30s. You're going to give up your second. You're going to swap your fifth, which you go from 142 to like 160. And then you're going to give up another 5th rounder. Yeah. Yeah, boy, 8 sacks is 37th in the league last year. I know, what a deal. I said the same thing. Every free agent, every free agent is a player a team didn't want. Yes, you're 100% accurate about that. But a lot of times it's because of the fact also that the team doesn't want to pay them. They're looking to get younger. They're in a bad situation. And also the fact that sometimes you just don't have the salary. Casper, the friendly pass defensive end, put out a quarterback. ABP on the boys. Steve, you're pretty funny. Steve, I'm going to give you a low and a thumbs up on Twitter. My God. Giants guy said, I knew the Giants wouldn't get Justin Fields. Giants don't like black quarterbacks. We've talked about that. Todd says, Getty was an idiot for signing like 2 Panthers, but his coaches, since they've have signed even more guys than they used to work with even before. What do we got here? Giants potentially stuck in quarterback hell is perfect because the idiots justified the Jones contract are now with some recent moves can be out of the contract and the wide receivers. But then, hey, people loved the Tommy DeVito wins. I think I was the only one that didn't like the Tommy DeVito wins. I kept seeing our season going up. I kept seeing the offseason going up in smoke. And I kept saying that I was concerned that the Saints game in that dome against that defense was going to be Tommy DeVito's downfall because it was the perfect storm. I don't remember what happened. I think Chicago drafts Daniels or May. Washington drafts Williams. I like it. What's up, my brother? How's everything going? We can still get Penix. I love Penix. But I do think that Neighbors is going to be gone now. It's before 6. I think, but the problem is this: I can't take Penix at 6. I would have to trade back and roll the dice on getting him. And the problem is, you use some of your draft capital this year to bring in Burns. So we can't we can't pull a Sonny Weaver like he did with the Browns and trade all those picks to Seattle and to Jacksonville, and then hope that Bo Callahan falls far enough for us to trade back on and get at least all of our first rounders.
Come on, Tom, say it with me, you pancake eating motherfucker.
Where's the Dahmer? I missed the Dahmer. Skyline says Drew Lock is going to be the comeback player of the year. NFC East is terrible right now. I'm sorry. Is that
Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm.
you got to clarify that one because Washington just got exponentially better. Dallas didn't get any worse. And the Eagles just got Devin White as well. I'll go along with Saquon Barkley and everyone else that they're signing. And we got what we got. So, Skylar, my brother, I hope that was a joke. I hope you're being non-serious. The Giants are relying on Drew Lock to be the guy, Tim. I told you they'll suck again this year. You did. Big Greg says, if you think Penix is your guy, draft him at 6. You know, I don't disagree with that philosophy. It doesn't make sense, but I don't disagree with the philosophy of taking Penix at 6. I really don't. I mean, it goes against football logic to take a 24-year-old quarterback with bad knees. So it kind of sounds like Joe Namath. What's up, Big Mark? What's going on? If Drew Lock starts week 1 on purpose, I'm officially done. No reason to follow this franchise into hell. I re-up my season tickets. And honestly, I've been thinking about it, and I've been thinking about it, and I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, I could wait. I was waiting for free agency, and I still didn't see anything going on. I still don't see anything great. But then I was like, well, maybe something's going to go on with the draft, and then I see all these moves being named, and I just.
Are you crazy? Or just plain stupid?
Stupid is, stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
I'm going with just plain stupid. AJ says, I hope the Giants draft Penix Jr. I have no problem if they take Penix. T-Brad says, if the Giants take JJ at 6, I'm going to get my resume ready to be the next general manager of the Giants. I think I can do a better job. I know you can, T. Mr. Alva says, I'll be cool with Penix at 6 if the Giants actually fix the right side of the line. Currently, the right side of the line is abysmal. Hey, you know what would have been really cool? If we had like an extra second-round pick. What did Thurman say? Is Bad Dog still blowing Shane like he did all last season? I don't know. I don't watch.
That's what she said.
What's up, time? I think it won't happen, but would you be upset if the Giants draft Penix? You know, they took Penix at 6. I would understand it because it would be the Giant thing to do. It's the Giant thing to do. We're going to overreach. We never did it in 2019. We never reached for a quarterback. We're just going to reach again. 24 years old, too. I think Penix outside of Williams is the most pro-ready. I think he actually may even be a little bit more pro-ready than Caleb. He's got all the tools. He's got all the intangibles. He's got the big arm. People talk about his mobility, but I like the way he understands the pocket. He understands his pocket awareness, the way he slides, the way he moves. He passed all of his physicals, but it's scary to think you would take a guy 24 years old with 2 bad knees at 6 and then hope with your offensive line that guy's going to be your guy of the future. But don't worry, we got John Runyon Jr. Todd says we're back to the Brown. Oh, God, I knew, Todd, why would you say that? We're back to the Brown, Grant, and Canal days, but Dan Canal took us to the playoffs. Is there no Kerry Collins to save us this time? I don't think so. John Mara's got to sell the team. Jason instead. So instead of getting Fields, we thought Drew Locks was a good idea. Everyone's hung up on Caleb, but here's the thing that the Giants don't. Here's the thing about why the Giants can't get Justin Fields. It is that $20+ million 5th-year option, which is due in May. You're not going to trade for a guy and not pick up that option. And then you're still going to have a competition of Locke, Jones, Fields. Well, just maybe Tommy DeVito will go away. But you still have that competition. That's why the Giants aren't going to do it. It would make sense for the Giants to do it. Cap space, they have the money next year to eat that money, especially if you get rid of Daniel Jones. But at the end of the day, are they going to be bold to do that? No. They're bold by trading for an 8-sack guy who is eerily similar to the guy they already have. I've said it before. If you traded for Burns and you were a playoff team, it makes sense. You traded for Burns, you're on the cusp of being a playoff team, it makes sense. Giving up that cap. Well, it makes 100% sense in the world. He's not a bad player. And I can't tell you what system the Giants are going to run next year. I don't know if Shane Bowman's going to totally mix it up and run something entirely different with the players that he has. But if you go off his work in Tennessee, it doesn't make sense. But like I said, the jury's still going to be out on this deal once we figure out exactly what the Giants are going to do defensively. Because I can't tell you, because you still don't have a CB2 and you still don't have a safety. You're about 2 linebacker shorts and you're about 2 corners short as well. Now we have no money. Todd, what do you say? Wait is worse than Jones making more than those 3 combined together. Yeah, that is pretty bad. That is pretty bad. T-Rad says, just when I think the Giants can't get wise, like Joe Shane says, hold my beer, does another boneheaded move. Daryl says, hit the damn like button. Honest question, is Shane better than Gettleman? In year 3, I think they're equal. Do the players get dead cat? Do players get the dead cat money? No, they don't get the dead cat money unless it's guaranteed, but they don't get the dead cat money. Only the team gets the dead cat money, and it's more of a penalty for it's to preclude people for signing people to these huge asinine contracts and giving them all of the money up front and bonus money that the league figured out, hey, listen, we got to make a dead cap number, so you can't do that and then just cut the guy the next year and then not have any ramifications. Giants guy says it's time for Mara to be it's time for John Mara to hear our voices, sell the damn team. Washington fans did that. Thank you, Giants guy. I was trying to read. T-Rad says, let's watch as the Giants draft another offensive lineman for the stupidity trifecta. Mr. Weaver says, just trade up, get a wide receiver or a quarterback. Jaden Daniels. I don't even want Drake May. Giants need to know that Duke and North Carolina schools are basketball schools, not football schools. Well, Lawrence Taylor will probably say different. But I understand what you're saying, Mr. Weaver. I get what you're saying. I'm right with you. I'm right with you on that. But I'm not in love with Drake May. Drake May to me is a more athletic. Daniel Jones with a bigger arm. I have more of I would get more if they took JJ McCarthy. Not that I think JJ McCarthy is better than Drake May, but JJ McCarthy is more of an unknown. So I really think the players in the NFL know to stay away from the Giants. This is a dysfunctional organization for real, Tim. I think I'm going to be a Chiefs fan. Yeah. Timothy says the Giants should trade O'Neal Ojulari, the 25th third and 26th fourth to the Vikings for the 10th. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Steve wants to know, when is DJ going, gone? I don't think anytime soon. T-Brad says the Giant guy is correct. Mara is killing us. Chris King with Christmas TV says, how do you feel about trading back with the Vikings for 11th and 23? You add Byron Murphy and AD Davis. I can't. I need a quarterback still. I need a fucking quarterback. I need a wide receiver and a quarterback. I'm not asking for much. Hell, I don't think I'm asking for anything. T-Brad said, I would rather have Malik Willis than Drew Lock. You could probably get Malik after what's his name just went over to the Titans. Poor Malik just needs a shot. I feel so bad for that kid. He performed so well in the preseason. He actually outplayed Drew Lock. Not Drew Lock. He outplayed, what's his name? The kid they drafted. I don't know. I can't think he was fucking. Yeah, he outplayed him, and then he loses his. Then the Tannehill goes down, and then he loses his starting job to a guy that was injured. And then he has that big game, and then he falls off the planet. Greg says, if we hit 100 likes, I will take 5 shots of fireball. Yeah, because that's what we do here, guys. Give me $20 in the super chat, and I'll do some fireball. Yeah. And then I'm going to make shit up. Okay, that was pretty funny. Mr. McCormick says, what does Mr. McCormick say? I meant to say we are looking at Arizona's pick and will probably move up. I don't think Arizona's going to get rid of their pick unless we give them a lot. I don't think they're going to get rid of the pick. Joe Rev says this has become a recurring story. The Giants overpay free agents and draft projects that don't really work out. You're right. Tim says, Pimp Nips, how come I don't hear about Aaron Donald or TJ Watts leading in pressures and having a few sacks? If you get the girl's number but never set up the date, you will never win. Oh, I like that one a lot. Well, Aaron Donald just quit. He didn't quit. He just retired. Let's see here. Steve says, Casper, the friendly pass rusher, put out an APP on them boys. Just for my brother James, who is home today, who is not working today, who is having a day off, eating some pizza.
Hey, kids, look over there. Who is it? It's Kayvon, the friendly pass rusher. Oh, no. Now he's gone.
I just love that sound effect. What gets me so much is you look at all these other teams and what they're doing. Yeah, and I know we don't have the cap space, but whose fault is that? I just wish we would do.
Autobots, roll out. We roll.
I think Omega Supreme says, I think our free agency stinks. Well, in the sanitation plants, one exit up from MetLife and on the Turnpike. Good God, the Vikings are killing it. They are killing it. Let's see here. Todd Taylor says, if we take eight sacks a year, it would probably actually be disruptive every game. The problem is players like KT disappear and 3 guys have 2 sacks in a game and then vanish for 3 more sacks. You're right. Joe Rev said, instead of playing a 3-4 or 4-3, they will be playing a poltergeist defense. Let's see here. You're not Tim. I don't like Tommy. 2 chains a win. Well, thank you. I thought I was fucking crazy. T-Rad says, many experts give the Giants high grades on the offseason moves. I disagree with most of the experts. When I disagree, I loved it because back what was the draft back with the McKinney draft, and that was that was a Gettleman draft. And I loved it because everyone told me that we knocked that draft out of the park. We killed that draft. I kept hearing that. And I love it because we got Andrew Thomas and Xavier McKinney in the first 2 picks, and I loved it. And I love it. And then I saw the rest of the draft, and I did a video the next day that said that Dave Gettleman snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory. And everyone killed me. Then I look, okay, let's see. Matt from Connecticut, Darnay Holmes, Shane Lemieux, Cam Brown, Carter Coughlin, TJ Brunson, Chris Williamson, and Tate Crowder. There's only, oh, wait a minute. Is Darnay Holmes still on the team? Carter Coughlin just signed. So there's one guy still on the team for that draft. But the experts love the draft. I looked at it and said, I don't see it. It's like, hey, please explain it to me because I don't fucking see it. Everyone in the chat ridicules me when I wanted the Giants to lose at the end of the season. I didn't ridicule you, brother. Oh. Todd says Callahan sucked. That's why the movie didn't get a sequel. I would like to know how that did play out. Let's see here. Josh Rogan, DJ Ritter, Sam Hell, all gone 1 year, but we resigned to keeping Daniel Jones. OG says, I told you for months now, don't renew. I know, but I was like, I got to give him a shot. I love this one made by Jens. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Daniel Jones's evil twin, Drew Lock. Does anyone believe me of this curse of OBJ is real? I don't believe it's real. Blue Blood does. Jimmy does. Daryl, did the 49ers re-sign Chase Young? If not, why did we trade for Burns when we could have gotten him? Because we are stupid. I keep telling you this. No one wants to listen to me. T-Brad says, Joe must go. I'm selling t-shirts for the whole season. Mr. Belford says, hey, Tim, any chance that the rest of the NFC East is so better than us? We go 0-17 next year and draft this front office scares me. No, we're not going to go 17. Jaden Daniels equals RG3. I would take that. RG3 went out because of injury. And Washington rushed him back for that playoff game. So I would take an RG3. Miguel says, Tim, I'm sorry, I'm late to the party, but I don't think you touched on DJ's injury clause. I think he'll never see the field again. He's going to see the field again. It's an ACL. I had two of them. Like 2 ACLs. He's fine. Made by the Giants says, I'm sorry Shane is beyond trash. I would be worse than Gettleman, and that's saying a lot. Tim is awesome. He knows math. Was it Aristotle? I forget who invented math. Not Aristotle. I wish I invented math. Do you get a royalty if you invented math? I wonder if we can entice James to come on his day off. James, can we entice you? I'm gonna put the link in the chat, James. Can we entice you to come in on your day off? Can we entice you? Greg says, the 6 picks of the draft, neighbors. We've closed having a mediocre O-line, now a quarterback. I believe JJ is better than May, says King Chris TV. I don't know. Let's say he might be. There's such an unknown with JJ McCarthy. 369 passes in 3 years. There's such an unknown to this kid that you don't know. You really don't. And I think that's what's rocketing him up the charts, because everyone talks about his leadership quality. Everyone talks about all these intangibles. I saw a guy that had NFL arm strength, velocity-wise, against nobody on the field, but he needed to generate more torque on his throws than people like Penix or even people like Joe Milton. So how is that going to translate into the NFL? I don't know. But he's got that outside intangible that you don't know. What does the Bears say with a big old super chat? Travis Jordan, Michael Pratt, Joe Milton, Spencer Rattler. If we picked one of those in the later rounds, who would you pick? I like Jordan. Travis, that is. But I don't like the injuries. Not a huge fan of Pratt. Spencer Rattler flames out in Oklahoma. Kind of cracked under pressure of being potential Heisman. I mean, I guess I got to go Joe Milton, but I wouldn't take Milton to like 6th or 7th round. Joe Milton's got the arm. Joe Milton, if you want to look at an NFL caliber arm, look at the passes he had. Holy boy, great balls of fire. Look at the passes he threw during the combine. But having a big arm does not equate to you being a great quarterback. So, Tim, you can't handle the truth. Joe S. knows nothing. Oh, my God. Let's see. Born a G-Man. Do Giant fans really think we'll be competitive this season? It will be a few years before we will be really competitive to compete, really ready to compete. No, I agree. Tim, do you remember Razzle says, Tim, do you remember the Legion of Boom? Kayvon now will lead the Legion of Boo. I like that. That's bad. I like it because it's bad. Chat Sports is reporting the Giants are contenders. Don't even tell me that. Don't even tell me that. I love it when people go to me when I say these things on the mic. I love when they go to me. Well, you know what? You would never say these things to these people in person. And I always think to myself, really? Really? I was like, ask Dom. Dom flew in from the UK. First time meeting him in person. Pick him up at the airport. Not even 20 minutes in my car, and I threatened to throw him out the fucking window. Imagine that being your forefront into the United States. He represents Queens. I was raised out of Brooklyn. He's got, what's up, Big James? What's up? As always, it's James Williams, the Black Grizzly Adams, coming for your live. Probably doing man stuff.
Not yet. I was just having some lunch, relaxing, chilling with my brothers. What's up, chat?
What's up, chat?
What's going on?
Big old James Williams in his house. James, we were talking about some of the moves that the Giants made, you and I, before I even jumped on the stream.
Yeah.
And are you smoking a cigarette?
Yeah, I'm trying to quit, y'all. These are bad for you. I'm trying to quit. Hopefully, in like 3 months. Hopefully.
You know, it's better just to smoke weed.
I know.
So you should just, there you go.
It's legal. It's legal.
It's legal. We were talking about these moves, and we were talking about, and maybe you can put a outline to this, because we couldn't figure it out. I mean, where are these huge moves that certain segments of the Giant fan base are sitting there going, well, this makes us good now?
I don't. Let me play devil's advocate. We don't know. Right. First, we don't know. None of us know. Not even the people on ESPN, Fox, and none of us know. Brian Burns could come out and have an Aaron Donald type, Khalil Mack type year. Okay. Kayvon may wake up. We may have a good defense. Offensively, that remains to be seen just because of the parts there. But we don't know. Some of these signings may be good. These linemen we picked up, they may be a little more than just backup, trench players. We don't know. However, the reality says that we overpaid on a younger, like decent or good defensive player in Burns, but not a world changer. We let two of our own homebred, grown, drafted guys walk out the door.
One
for
to
nothing.
One
to a division rival, and both of them for nothing, when you could have traded them and got something for them during the year. And honestly, for everything that everybody's saying about these moves, Shane has not hit it out the park yet. We're going into his third year. This is, third draft. This is an important one. 3 strikes and you're out. Usually, I'm a big baseball fan. So if he doesn't knock this one out the park, I think it's over for him and his water bottles after this season. I don't think you can keep him. No matter what anybody says, nothing he's done has been a real home run hitter.
Well, Bobby Okereke, I think Bobby Okereke.
He was a good move. That's not a home run. And if we're going to sit up here and say Bobby Okereke is a home run, well, that just tells you the state of us as a team.
Well, we did. We overpaid for an off-the-ball linebacker, considering what someone like David Long Jr. got out of Miami and had very eerily similar statistics.
Even Devin White, we couldn't get Devin White.
Devin White signed with $8.5 million, I think, for the Eagles.
We couldn't get Devin White.
No, we
like
don't
this.
have every money.
Well, now, but I'm just saying, like this.
With
go ahead, brother.
The rule of 51, we have about $3.5 million. He got 8.
Oh, he got 8. Okay, all right. I thought he got a little less than that. Sorry.
No.
All right, but I'm just saying nothing. But even with the Bobby, like, what move has Shane done other than re-sign Gettleman guys that has been a home run hitter? Banks was seems to be a great pick. That seems to be on his way to, if he keeps progressing. Okay, cool.
Now, my question is with Banks. I mean, how do you relate to the Shane Bowen system, who has not been known to groom defensive backs? I
mean, I don't know anything about this Shane. Only thing I know about Bowen is really what you've told me, little stuff I've heard on the radio. Anybody out here saying they really know, too much about this guy. I don't know anything about Bowen. We have to. It's another wait and see. We'll see how it goes thing. Just like everything with the Giants, wait and see. We got to see how it goes, and then usually when we see how it goes bad. I just, it's sad to say, but the other night, like I told you on the phone, I was so pissed. I'm still mad. Now I'm just like inner mad. I'm not showing it as much, but it is going into this draft. Can you really say we have confidence in our front office?
I am inner mad. I like that.
I'm inner mad now.
You know what, guys? I've decided with James, I'm now going to be inner mad. I'm not gonna. You know what I got to be mad about there for a second though. And you and I talked about this briefly. It's the whole stupidity of Giant fans and certain content creators that are like, the Giants should get compensation, or the Eagles should lose all their draft picks for tampering with Saquon Barkley. They tampered with him. They tampered.
Yeah. Right.
So you want to take away all this team's draft picks and you want to get some compensation for a guy you didn't tender a contract to, that you let become a free agent, and you think they should drop the hammer on the Eagles for a guy's head coach making a comment, which the organization said, no, it's not true. But stupidity in our minds that we should go out and somehow get compensation, or they should lose all their draft compensation for signing a guy that we didn't want, and we let walk. I know people are hard up for content and hard up for putting things on Twitter, but can stupidity stop reigning supreme? Please.
That's what it is.
Just make my heart feel better. But before you post something, before you create a video on something, before you do something that's asinine and stupid, think about it before you do it, because intelligent people that are 100 and some people in this room and the other 70 on Twitter understand that it's a guy you didn't even want. And then to sit there and all of a sudden you kissed the ring of Saquon Barkley for years, and now he's an asshole and a bum because he went to a division rival. And we've said it once before.
Crazy.
If you're making $20 an hour at your job and some other job comes say, hey, listen, we're going to give you 40, and your other job doesn't want you and they just let you go, no, you wouldn't go and take that $40 an hour.
I told you on the phone, the best breakdown I could simplify it to people is this. Let's say there's a guy, he's got this girl, she's smoking hot, she's beautiful. He's not treating her right. They've been together for a while. Everybody can see it. It's to the point that when she goes out and she's by herself, people are all like, oh, girl, you okay? Hey, how you doing? Oh, man, that guy, you still with that? You don't need to be with that guy. He's not doing you right. He's not. The mailman is telling her, man, I heard you guys fighting the other man. You don't need to. You're so beautiful. It gets to the point that, so when she leaves that guy, and even people are like, hey, you know this guy over here in Philly? He really likes you. Oh, man, like he'll treat you right, man. And that's your hometown. He understands you. Oh, man, he sees what's going on over there, man. He sees. It's so bad. The mailman is saying stuff, and so when that girl leaves and goes to that other guy over there, is that really tampering? No, and that happens all the time. You want to know why? You didn't, like Tim said with his toys, you didn't treat your stuff with care. We didn't treat Saquon with care. That guy is a real weapon. All we talk about is we need weapons. We had a weapon. And now we let our division rival get the weapon.
Dr. Garrett wants to know, can we get some rapper delight from you, Tim? We did that earlier in the stream. We'll come up with something else for you. I'm thinking it's treat a rocker rhyme to rocker rhyme to right on time. It's tricky. I think we may have to go a little bit with it's tricky. This girl named Carol Farrell Daryl's every gig we play. And Jay, I ain't lying because I think I'm a star. Always tearing what I'm wearing. Think they're going too far. Stanley says, hey, running back Rasheen Ali out. Marshall, favorite pick in the NFL. Draft skills close set to Saquon Barkley. I love you, Stanley, but I'm just gonna go past that. Hey, James, if you don't want to come on, lol, which he will, I will happily come on. I have time to kill. Lex, we'll get to you a little bit.
Lex Luthor, you're supposed to do something. You and Zach were supposed to stop some of these moves. You guys are evil geniuses. What are y'all doing out there, man? Get on it.
We got
stop the Giants.
We got Big Soul C. Sanders coming in, just stopping by to say, what's up, Tim? Everything's up. Everything's good. It's a Friday night. Just got paid. Swing Culture TV says, Tim and James, what's the good word? The word is no.
What up?
Says, what's up, James? Let's see here. The James rant. Herbologist says the James rant. It's just the James rant, man. It's
Intermat today. Not going to go crazy today. Intermat.
Tell him, Tim. We see Center says, what's up, James? Go to vape. No, vape is actually for you.
No. Yeah, don't do that, man. You should get off that. C. Sanders, brother.
You're actually sucking in metals into your lungs. Little metal particles. It's not actually. It is actually scientifically proven. It is better for you to smoke.
Believe it or not, right?
Believe it or not, it's weird to say that cigarettes are something better than something else. Joseph says, because you're a loyal fan, Tim, just buckle up and close your eyes this season. It's gonna hurt. What's gonna hurt even more is I'm gonna invite James to like 8 of the 9 home games.
Oh God, can you imagine being out there and rooting for Drew Lock? Can you imagine that? If he's on our team and we're at the game and he's starting, we're gonna have to root for Drew Lock.
Listen, I re-up my tickets. You're going to this shit show with me.
Oh fuck you! Oh, you gotta be cursed. I'm trying to be. Fuck you! We gotta get.
What happened to the inner mad?
You're right. That's right. I'm peaceful today. You're right.
You're coming with me, bro. You're coming with me. That's all I'm gonna. You are gonna sit right next to me, and you are gonna watch this shit show with me, and you're gonna piss people off, and you're gonna pick on little kids.
I love kids. Kids love me. That's why that kid turned around. He's like, "Yeah, that guy's telling the truth. I'm gonna say that word." No, his dad was like, "Hey, don't say what he's saying." You saw his dad. Don't say what he's saying, son.
well, fairness.
Oh my God.
For trading McKinney, we could have gotten a second. We would have had 3 second round picks. You probably
could have gotten anything. You could have got a napkin and a paper towel, and that would have been better than nothing.
And it's still, I love this one by Razzle the Great. A tick. I mean, that's Kayvon. Zagatek says the same thing happened to Tyson Campbell in Jacksonville, similar player to Banks. Oh, he's right. I forgot all about Tyson. Oh my God, I forgot about Tyson Campbell. Oh my, Zach Attack, good job.
Good call.
Good job.
As always.
Joe overpaid for Burns, and who's our CB2 in safety? That's
Jalen Mills, right? We got Jalen Mills.
And also,
you got Jalen Mills.
Well, James, in all fairness, who do you think that? I mean, you still have the likes of, Dory Jackson's still out there. I mean, the Giants don't have.
I was gonna say, what's going on? What's going on with him though? Like, what? Nobody seems to be biting at him. You think he could get them for cheap? No, not too cheap.
You know, it's funny. Somebody put on I forget what show I was watching, and they were talking about the remaining free agents, and one of them he was talking about was Dory Jackson, and he said Dory Jackson, good corner. Just don't put him out on an island like Wink Martindale. And then I'm thinking to myself, shouldn't your corner be out on an island once in a while?
He's gonna have to fend for himself. I mean, this is the job. This is what's required. that comes with it.
I just thought that was such an interesting comment. Don't put him out. Don't put him out on an island.
Don't leave him out there by himself. No, he needs safety help.
Did Dom Docs just say that Nick McLeod's going to be our starting safety? Can we get Yusef Corker back? Is that possible?
You bet. I hope he's talking about McLeod from Highlander. That's the only McLeod I want to see.
Can we go over to Home Depot and see if Yusef wants to come over and play? Oh, that's right, because he flamed out in training camp.
This is going to be interesting, guys. That's all I'll say. This is going to be interesting. I'm actually quite curious.
I was watching Highlander the other day, the TV series.
I remember that.
I don't know why, because I think Cheaters wasn't on. The best point of having a weapon on a bad team. What is the best point of having a weapon on the bad team? Nothing. Damn, I'm late. What's up? Time, says big old Nick. Joe Rev said, James Metaphors makes me want to go to Saquon and the Eagles. Roxanne. I want to be your man. What's up, Nick? Nick McLeod. I think they offered $14 million. Who did they offer $14 million to?
Who?
I don't know.
I'm not up on every, I'm not up on. I'm not like Zach and not as good as that brother, with all the moves. Like, even with the Aaron Donald thing, somebody said that in the chat. I was like, no way. And then I checked it. I was, oh, snap. No, Aaron Donald retired. Salute to Aaron Donald.
Young says here, go sign a veteran corner or draft one with the 47th pick. I'm going to keep explaining this to everybody. And I'm going to keep trying to explain this, James, why the Giants are going to be precluded from making any big moves unless they restructure the deals of both Thomas and Dexter Lawrence, and hopefully Darren Waller retires. With the rule of 51, you have about $3 million in cap space without your rookie allotment, which is going to be between like $4.5-5 million. So then you have negative cap space, and only the guaranteed top rookie contracts will be on the books. Without the rule of 51, you have right now about a little over $1 million in cap space. Now, these numbers are not inclusive of the Carter Coughlin deal, the guy from the Raiders, Drew Lock, Isaiah McKenzie, Mills, or Stoles. These numbers do not include those 7 or 8 contracts.
Oh, wow.
So going out and finding someone on the cheap that's a good defensive end, corner, is not going to be easy, because you took all your money and you gave it to Brian Burns. Brian Burns.
Yeah, I mean, that's
$23.5 million. So you're not going to restructure his deal.
No.
And now you have 45% of your money tied up between Jones, Thomas, Burns, and Lawrence.
Which is crazy.
Not to mention you have about another 10% tied up with Okereke and Waller. So you have almost 50% of your cap space tied up in 6 guys.
So, and guys, I hate the Burns move was our big move. That was the home run.
That was your move.
That was our move.
That was your home run move. That's it. So you're going to have to restructure these deals. The Thomas and Lawrence deals have to be restructured. They have to. There's no way around this. And for everyone that's trying to sit there and tell you on Twitter and all the other GM geniuses, well, we'll just convert it all into bonus money. Okay, well, here's what happens when you do that. First of all, you convert it all into bonus money. That money now becomes guaranteed. Second of all, you cannot convert an entire salary into bonus money. Third of all, that some of that bonus money is going to have to be pushed out into 2025 as well. So now your 2025 numbers for these guys are higher because we looked at this with Gettleman. You are just kicking money down the road. You're kicking the can down the road, and you are hoping that you're going to have to do the same thing. You are stuck in the same vicious cycle that we've been stuck in for 10 years now. And you went out and got a guy when you were not one guy away from making the playoffs. And Waller saying and Shane and them is saying, James, that there is no timetable for Waller. Okay, well, that's $7 million of cap space potentially hanging out there. I've said it before,
I
James.
mean,
I did not invent math.
no, you're getting no royalties for that. To answer your question, sorry.
Wish I could. We did invent math.
No.
Sumerians did. There was the Sumerians? I don't even know.
I don't want to say the wrong thing. I hate when people, just be on YouTube or something, just say any old thing. It was the Atlanteans. Like, nah.
I don't.
Zach, get on that. Who invented math?
Who invented math? Wasn't it the Greeks? Wasn't it the Greeks that invented math?
I would like to think it was before the Greeks. I don't know why I would say that.
I'm not basic mathematics. I mean like algebra and geometry and calculus.
Oh, you mean like
I think it was around. I think it was in. I always want to say it was like in Mesopotamia, but someone get on that and find out who invented not who invented basic math, because I think that was the Neanderthals. If I kill 3 brontosauruses, I can make 8. So I'm talking about more complex math.
Yes, and not the Joe Shane math. Well, if I have 3 Daniel Jones, that means I have 0 quarterbacks. Carry the 5.
Okay, now we have 6 quarterbacks. Waller then needs to make a decision. Yeah, but we just talked about that. The problem is this: we told Waller there's no rush.
Yeah, take it easy, man. Work on your beats. Work on your flow.
I mean,
diction.
Do you believe that Joe Shane told Darren Waller, are convinced Darren Waller not to retire? That was the speculation that he convinced him not to retire.
I think Shane is doing all this passiveness with him. Yes, because I think he would feel stupid if he just signed this guy who had a subpar, lackluster year, and then he just came out and said, "I'm retiring. I'm going to be a rapper." I think Shane is starting to look at his Giants tenure here and look at it because somebody probably brought to his attention, like, "Hey, buddy, some of your moves haven't really been all that great. You need to kind of like hit this draft and offseason out the park."
So, do you think that Joe Shane learned his lesson by learning my lesson?
I don't think he's learned anything, honestly. I'll be honest.
This is Learn My Lesson by Darren Waller.
Yo, are you trying to play some Darren Waller rap right now? We don't need that. We did, like the music scene is bad as it is.
The beat, man. Leave me alone.
Stop it. His wife is a better athlete than him, by the way. His wife is nasty and ball. Shout out to her.
If he
but no, stop. Do not play that. Do not play Darren Waller rap no more.
If he doesn't retire, we won't have that.
No, he's working on it while he's playing. I'm telling you right now, that's the problem.
He honestly needs to concentrate on one because I don't think.
You think he's watching the playbook or plays or studying film? No, he's studying rap tape.
Salute from Mr. Fitness. Joe says, O-line, D-line, more important. We can get competitive with a good O-line and a D-line. It sucks when we lost Saquon McKinney for nothing, but re-signing them wouldn't have make this any better. Burns doesn't make us any better. Honest, if you want me to be blatantly honest.
And having Saquon makes us better. We have to. I don't care. We're not saying greatly, but we are a better offensive team with Saquon Barkley. You know what? We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find.
We should have been.
We're gonna finally see Daniel Jones without his safety blanket, and we're gonna see how he does in the real world.
We don't like the real world. That's where scary things happen. All I'm gonna say right now to everyone is please hit the like button.
Hit that like button.
You're gonna get more of this.
Yo, you stop. You see my face? I'm not even playing. Stop. Darren with the Darren Waller rap. Darren, when you told me that, I was like, no. I think he probably just did something on
100 likes.
TikTok.
I'm going to play that in the background for 4 hours.
Stop. That guy is.
As well as
stop.
what saying that. Stop.
I'm sure. No. She, but secretly, she's got to support. A good wife supposed to support your husband. Good husband supports his wife. But so initially, she's got to be like, well, yeah, honey, if that's your passion, go and try it. But when she's with her girls, she's like, oh my god, I heard it. Oh my god.
Did you see that video? Did you see his video? That's what she said.
It's like, oh my god. It's like, I wish he would work on his footwork in the game.
I am pretending not to know him.
Oh my god.
Darren Waller have like a cool rap name?
What? Stop it.
No, that was actually a serious question.
I don't know, but even if it is he should trade it. He should give that to somebody with some real skill. Let them use the name.
Here you go, right here, around 3000 BC by the Sumerians. There we go.
Oh, thank you, Swing.
Watch this. Mesopotamia.
Look at this guy. He said, I had to sit up in the chair.
Sit up in the chair now, motherfucker.
You sit up in the chair. Yeah, that's right. Mesopotamia, kids. Go Google that shit.
The Mesopotamians. I pulled that shit out my ass.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
That was, that's the extent of my college education. That was it. We are on a road to nowhere. But Chris, this is.
You went to college? This guy's out here like, this guy doesn't know anything, man. He didn't even graduate high school, man. He's a fake Giants fan, man.
I was gonna say, believe it or not, I went to college and graduated. They let me graduate 4 years.
Like 4 years, bitches.
I was gonna do this in 4 years. I graduated in 4 years. That was it.
That's that math right there. That's that Giants math.
Did
it in 4 years, man.
If I would have done that, I know someone on Twitter would have taken that and clipped it into make a meme or a little video. Fake Chris says this is like a Discover card that discovering you can't pay for it. Jordan says fanboys are posting on Facebook something about Carl Banks and Shane for getting. Listen, Carl Banks is. We have invited Carl Banks on this show numerous times. The real Carl Banks.
Yeah, the real Carl Banks.
We invited him on millions of times. Actually, we've never invited him on.
He would never come on. He would never talk to you. I love you, but Carl's not coming.
I would ask him a fucking question.
Nah, he's not doing that.
I'm going to sit there like when he goes on some other people's channels. Listen, Carl, when this is over, can I smell your jockstrap? Is that possible? Do you have one from the 86 season? Because I've really only been watching the Giants since the 90s and the late, but I know all about you.
It's scary. It's scary out here, kids.
I would be sitting there and I say, Carl, let me ask you a question.
What do you want to ask, Tim?
Why do you kiss the ass of the Giants so much? Why do you say things in the middle of a game that make sense, that may be considered derogatory, but then back it when you get out? You go,
word. Yes.
Back into well, what I really meant to say, like when he said basically at one point in time last year that the Giants were a shit show, that this was a terrible team, and then all of a sudden he comes back and says, well, there were some good things that the Giants did today.
Yo, that's such an interesting point. He does do that, like during the season. You listen to him like during the games. What's going on? You just
of clarity.
Because he calls it like it is. Like he'll literally say, "Oh, he just pretended, but he missed that guy. You got to make that throw right there."
Out there, and he said at one point in time, I think it was the Seattle game when he said in the middle of the game, "The Giants are officially a broken team." And then he comes out,
then he
goes back up to the studio, and it's like, well, what I meant to say, the bench, the heater on that bench broke during the game.
That's an interesting point. You're right. People pay attention to that if you can. If you hear Carl Banks on the radio during the game, he'll actually call some stuff as you're supposed to, as it is. But afterwards,
he has a minute of lucidity, and then it just disappears.
That's funny. That's real. That's funny, man. You're right. He does do that.
I give Howard Cross all the credit in the world because he is the ultimate homer. I've talked to Howard Cross probably the last 7 years of Giant games, off and on for like 7 years. And he's a nice guy, except for James wanted to kill him. Nice guy, but the ultimate homer. Which is fine.
It was bad.
I understand that. But to sit there and make up
It
an
was
excuse
bad.
that Daniel Jones' interception to Witherspoon was because he had been getting sacked all game long, it's like he wasn't even pressured. And Witherspoon comes out and says, we know he likes to go to his first read.
Said that like right after the game, like on the field. He was like on the field. Said that like real quick. Like, yeah, we knew that.
That's the best part. You're right. It was right on the field. He said it after. You're right. He said it right after the game.
He was on the field. I forgot to report a young lady's name who interviewed him.
All right, guys, we're at 66 likes.
Yo, real quick too, just to jump on that point, because I'm gonna finish my lunch, and I'm pretty sure you guys. But yo, the Tiki Barber thing is real crazy to me. It's just like even if you were saying that tongue in cheek as he proclaims or whatever, you shouldn't be coming out and bashing. You were a running back. You know how hard that position is. You've gone through there. You take the bruises and the bumps and the blood, sweat, and the tears. You've seen what this guy has gone through. The New York Giants, other than drafting him the high pick and giving him his, they never gave him any kind of re-up serious deal.
No.
And he had to watch a guy in Jones in his old locker room that he knows and everybody else on the team knows. Barkley helped that guy's success. He helped that guy get that money. We never heard no reports about Jones saying, oh, he gave back some money to try to help keep Barkley. None of that. Not saying he has to, but he didn't do that either. And it's like all this like tiki tongue-in-cheek crap and people on YouTube bashing Saquon. We have no right to bash that guy for taking care of himself and his family after we didn't seriously care for him. Just to put it in those terms, we didn't. Like, to be serious, like it's kind of embarrassing. I'm getting embarrassed to be a Giants fan on certain levels. Like, what's going on out here? When now all of a sudden the people, and even some of the people I like on YouTube, talk about, oh, Saquon went to the Eagles, we'll forget him, he's dead. Yeah, what are you talking about? They gave him the most money. Oh, the running back position is dead. Oh yeah. Austin Eckler's in our division too, by the way. Redskins, we're gonna have to see that guy too. It's like, what are we talking about out here, guys? All the top running backs got picked up on the first day. Boom.
Let's not talk about Austin Eckler, about where he went. Let's not bring that up.
I'm just saying, because I forgot about that move too.
Why you want to bring that up? Listen, to the people, I gotta just say one thing real quick here. And I don't know why I get this, because someone just emailed it to me again, DM'd it to me again. I don't know if there's a woman that I guess she does giant content. I don't know who it is. And someone keeps sending, people once in a while send me pictures of her and say, is she a man? Is she a drag queen? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Send me better stuff. Ask me, but you want to DM me? That's what you're going to DM me?
Is she a drag queen? Is her content good? How about that?
I don't know who the hell she is.
Her, he, whoever, like if they're speaking fact, it's kind of like the Caleb Williams thing. That guy could come out in a wig, painted toenails, painted fingernails, press on nails with Elizabeth Taylor perfume. And if he's coming out and he's throwing them things, I don't give a damn.
I don't care either. Said that a million times. He
like, yo.
nails and he can throw the ball 90 yards downfield, 50 yards downfield. I don't care.
I don't give a damn.
And he did with some of those throws he did at USC last year with no offensive line hope, with nothing around him. I don't care. But I have no idea if people are dragging.
Yeah, like how is Tim supposed to know? Like, yes, by looking on the screen, we can identify that. What are we doing out here, man?
I don't know.
Is he part of the Giants scouting department?
I don't know, but I love it.
Looks like a quarterback.
It's like, and then honestly, it's like I'm really going to answer that question.
People are crazy. I told you, you got to be careful. Be careful when you go on the X Twitter sphere. Or you said email. Somebody emailed that to you.
No,
excuse me. Sorry.
They DM'd it to me on Twitter.
Oh, they did. Oh, yes. Well, the X Twitter sphere.
This is like
careful.
The second or the third time I've gotten this DM in like 3-4 months.
Like, what's going on out here, man?
And people are just assumption she or he is a drag queen. I don't know. I don't know.
Is the content good? Is she speaking facts? How about that?
I don't know, but I'm more interested in the fact that it was 3000 BCE, the Sumerians in Mesopotamia. I hope
No,
Walmart
that,
fires.
hold on. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh my God! Get Fabian Bro back. Played well 2 years ago. Okay, go get Isaac Yitem. T. Brad says that we went from an offense with one weapon to an offense with 0 weapons. But how are we better? We are better. I don't know.
We are
Joe Shane,
systemically better.
he says, I told you. Giants love brass loves JJ McCarthy. Zach says Bob Papa doesn't like Tim. No, Bob Papa doesn't like me. Bob Papa thinks I'm somebody else.
He doesn't like you. I can see it on his face.
He thinks I'm somebody else. In all fairness, I want to talk about this before you leave because you were there. Because Bob Papa asked me.
He doesn't like you.
Bob Papa asked me who I was on Twitter. He goes, "What is your handle on Twitter?" This was at the rookie. No, this wasn't at the rookie symposium. This was at.
No, this was the. I don't remember in New York City.
Yeah, it was the Giant Town Hall.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
I asked my question, and then Bob Papa had to make a smart-ass comment. Of course, he's just that way. And then he asked me, what my Twitter handle was, and I told him. And then he told everyone. I think Joe Shane was there, and everyone else was there. And he goes, "Oh, I've gone at it with this guy on Twitter." And then I thought to myself, because that's what I say to myself when I talk to myself. What the fuck is this guy talking about? I don't even follow Bob Papa.
Oh, wait, hold on. He got you mistaken for some other very large white man? He got you mistaken. Wait, your own brother got you mistaken. He's like, this guy looks familiar.
There are other very large white men out there.
That's hilarious. No, he doesn't. He didn't like you at all that day.
But then during the rookie symposium, we're in the Giant cafeteria with Big Al.
Tim went back for more, guys.
I had to go back for more because I'm an idiot. But I did, like I said, I did win. What did I win? Well, what did I win? Congratulations. 2023 season ticket holder, remember, Fantasy Football League champion.
Booyah.
Booyah. But then I'm at the rookie symposium, and we were in the Giant cafeteria, and Bob Papa's down in the hall, and he's by himself. So me. I gotta say hello because we're.
I'm saying you walked right by him and didn't say anything.
No. I yelled at him. I yelled at him from across the hall because I'm me. He still didn't like me.
Well, big surprise. Wow.
But Bob, just one thing. I follow you now on Twitter because that day that you told me you didn't like me because you and I went at it on Twitter. I have never talked to you on Twitter. I have never met you on Twitter. I have never liked a comment or posted a comment or did anything derogatory to you on Twitter. James is correct. There are other very large white men in this world besides me.
Just saying.
I am just throwing this out there, Bob.
Just saying.
To have this ill will against me, it kind of hurts.
Oh, look at oh my, yo, let me tell you something, man. You're gonna be like, they're gonna have like the Giant Secret Service taking pictures of you, and so now the next like public events, they're gonna be like, look out for this a-hole. All right.
Well, I told you the time I went to the game with Dom. We're all out on the field, and Dom comes out of the coaches club and walks up to me and goes, "These 2 police officers want to talk to you."
Oh well, Dom, he didn't know the.
I told Dom when you're with one of your boys and the cops are looking for that person, you don't tell them you know where he is. And
Dom is a good man.
Dom told the police, "I will bring him to you." And I thought to myself, what you just thought. I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get thrown out because I might be somewhere."
He's not thinking about that. Dom's a good brother. He's just saying, "Oh, the police! You're looking for my friend? Come, let me walk you right to him. Come on."
But I love it though because he's just like, "Oh yes, I told him I'm gonna bring you in." It's like, I said, "We're boys, man. You don't rat me out to the cops."
And they probably heard his accent. And they're like, "Oh, well, we could trust him. He's a trustworthy fella." Chop.
I was just dying. I was like, "Oh dear Lord, man."
That's a good story.
Tim goes, "I want your fantasy advice so I can win my league."
Don't draft any Giants.
Don't draft the Giants. Let's see. Nick says, "Yo, it's 2024. Don't get canceled." Jesus, I've gotten canceled how many times? I get canceled in my own house.
He's right though. You gotta be careful, buddy. Be careful. Oh man.
I always love when people are like, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, like I'm gonna be worried. Hirsch for real says, "What's up, Tim? What's up, James? James, I gotta get out of here because I gotta have some lunch and I gotta go pick up the kid at school soon."
Oh yeah, it's getting close to that time.
I just got another notification on Twitter. I was wondering if it was Pop asking to come on.
Can you imagine Bob Papa and Carl Banks wanting to like even being somewhere with the two of us like on it? That would never happen. Like there's certain things in this world like we would never be in the same battle arena, so to speak, to even ask them questions like, so guys.
here's my thing. And I've said this again. I invite anyone on the show. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for super chats. I don't ask for anything. Anyone that wants to come on the show, as long as you're respectful, as long as you're nice, you can come on the show.
That is true.
I treat anyone poorly. All I do is I ask questions, and I put out the challenges always to people like Bob Papa and Carl Banks and all them. Come on the show for a half hour. Don't go on these lily white vanilla shows. Sorry, James, not to offend you. These lily white vanilla shows, and all these wonderful questions, But I'm respectful. I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to, I will just ask questions. And if you don't want to answer those questions,
just be nice.
I will just be myself and probably call you a derogatory name and say you're hiding shit. But I will do it with the utmost respect.
Yeah.
Fucking pussy.
Yes. It's ridiculous. It's never happened.
Hearst for real says it best. Don't you love it when you call me Big Bob Papa? Oh my God. Blazen says, I'd like to come on the show, Tim, for like 5 minutes or less. Well, Blazen, you can come on next time. I'm actually heading out because I got to go have lunch and I got to go get my kid from school. But next time you want to come on, Blazen, just let me know. But tell me early. Tell me like when we first start. Don't wait till we're 1 hour and 36 minutes into a 90-minute show. James, what do you got to say? What do you got to say that's good? Tell me something good, man. I'm gonna take my vitamins while you tell me something.
We're still gonna draft a quarterback. That's all my hopes are. I'm in the draft and then in the wait, you know what? I'm gonna.
We're still gonna draft a quarterback in the draft.
I'm gonna say this because I have to have something to hope for, right? So I don't think we're gonna trade for Justin Fields. I don't see that happening for some reason. Oh God, I have to really hope against hope here. It's like Luke Skywalker trying to hit the freaking inside of the Death Star. So I'm gonna hope that we're gonna draft Odunze and then somehow trade up or trade back into the late first or early second and get Penix. That's going to be Shane's move, where he finally does something that was actually GM like crafty and okay, we're going to get some pieces in here. We're going to get a quarterback of the future. Yes, Daniel Jones will be our starter if he's healthy week 1. He will be here this year. Cool. But we will have our future on the bench. But I'm going to hope for that we're probably not going to trade for Fields or even Willis, because we could get Malik Willis right now, try him out for cheap, but God forbid we do that. Odunze, and then we're going to somehow use our last bit of capital and even future capital to get back into the late first round, early second, and grab Penix before some other smart team grabs him. That's my hope. That's what I'm shooting.
Young Fleet wants to know, James, which quarterback?
Which quarterback? Penix.
You're going to draft.
Huh?
That you're going to draft. They're going to take Penix.
I'm saying that, yes. Penix. I'm saying they're shooting. I'm saying that the JJ McCarthy hype at 6, there's no way that Shane. I mean, there is a way. There is a way. It's a stupid way. But there is a way that we drafted Daniel Jones at 6. You cannot come back 6 years later and take JJ McCarthy at 6 again. The same draft spot. And he's a guy that's not really a sure thing. Because that's what Daniel Jones, for all the hate I give him, the bottom line was he was not a sure thing. Nobody's a sure thing, but he was the farthest thing from a sure thing out there. And we took him at 6. You cannot do that with JJ, despite him being on my brother T-Bad's T-Brad's championship Wolverines, and I know he was in the limelight and all that. He was not a heavy thrower like a Penix or a Caleb or even a Drake May. So you can't do that. You can. You can.
You can't, but you can.
But we can't. So I'm saying all the JJ thing is smoke, and we're going to get Penix and Odunze. Because we're not getting the higher guys unless we trade up for the trade with the Patriots.
I want to thank James for coming on. I want to thank the 107 people that are still hanging out on X. The other 107 people still hanging out on Twitter. Not Twitter, what it's called, YouTube. I want to thank Big James for going out there. Don't forget to go on Twitter right now and bug the shit out of Bob Papa and Carl Banks to both come on to the James Williams and Tim Hour every noon on whatever day I decide to jump on the mic. James, I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank everyone for coming in, dropping by, dropping out. This is Tim, New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue Allstate. For James, for Tim, we'll see everyone Sunday for that regular 10 o'clock Sunday stream. You know what, guys? We're out of here. Have yourself a good